Hey, like Muhammad Ali says, the will got to be stronger than the skills. Today wasn't about skills. Today was about will strength. And I knew the type of fighter I was fighting. This guy's a triathlon athlete, for crying out loud. And if I was tired, I knew he was more tired because I worked very hard for this. He's never been 12 rounds before. So we knew we had to break him down. Body shots were hurting him. But this is what it's all about, fighting the best. This is the fight game. You know, this is what we signed for.
The boxing world was hit with a major surprise tonight. Reports indicate that Teofimo Lopez is preparing to walk away from professional boxing following a decisive loss to Shakur Stevenson at Madison Square Garden. What many expected to be a statement performance turned into one of the most emotional events fans have seen in recent memory. Soon after the fight concluded, Lopez shared in a post-bout discussion that he intends to step away from the sport right now. The revelation came within hours of the result, inside the very venue where thousands had gathered to watch. Visibly shaken and struggling to hold back emotion, he spoke in a way that immediately sent waves through the combat sports community.
You can't tell me I'm not great. You cannot tell me I'm not the double greatest since Muhammad Ali. This is what I do. This is what I do best. Now, just to steer it up, I might retire after this. Retirement, man. I'm kind of tired.
Opening up with complete sincerity, Teofimo explained that he gave everything he had in preparation and execution, but still fell short. He said pushing forward from here would only bring more damage to himself and impact the people around him, calling this fight his last. Fans in the arena and viewers at home were caught totally off guard by such a firm statement from a former champion. Social media erupted almost instantly, filled with shock, sadness, and heated reactions. To understand why this moment feels so heavy, you first have to look closely at what happened during the match, where Shakur Stevenson delivered a masterclass in control and technique.
Millions if you could make hundreds.
Of millions?
Yeah.
You believe you can make hundreds of millions outside of boxing?
I believe so, yes, I do.
Well, I understand where you would get your confidence.
From the opening bell, Stevenson took command of the contest, setting distance, pace, and angles exactly where he wanted them. His defensive awareness and ring IQ repeatedly threw Lopez off balance. Teofimo came forward early with intensity, pressing the action and throwing big shots, just as his team had predicted before fight night. But Shakur consistently slipped away from danger and answered with crisp counters that impressed the judges. By round 4, Lopez's body language showed mounting frustration as each planned adjustment was shut down by Stevenson's sharp strategy.
Oh, I'm very happy. The name of the game in boxing is hit and don't get hit. I'm a master of it. I didn't get hit, and I hit the guy more than he hit me. So it was a great performance for me. I'm happy with it.
Witnesses near ringside said Lopez's corner kept reminding him to stay patient and avoid charging in wildly. The 6th round became a turning point when Stevenson unleashed a clean flurry that rocked Teofimo and pinned him near the ropes in defensive mode. The audience exploded as Shakur attacked with urgency, displaying the killer instinct some critics once doubted. Lopez survived, but the toll was clear on his face, and he looked unsure about how to turn things around. Rounds 7 through 9 followed a similar pattern, with Stevenson in full control and Lopez struggling to keep up.
Well, Shakur, congratulations. Biggest fight of your career, and you come up with looked like the finest performance of your career. Was that the performance you were looking for?
Nah, I came in here to prove a point. It wasn't the performance I was looking for because I came in here trying to prove a point. I was trying to.
Each time Lopez tried to build offense, Stevenson shut it down with precise timing, smart movement, and accurate return shots that drained both the scorecards and his confidence. One ringside analyst compared it to a chess expert playing several steps ahead at all times. In round 10, Teofimo made a desperate push, throwing with full force in hopes of changing everything with one big moment. He connected with a few meaningful punches that lifted the crowd briefly, but Stevenson quickly reset and fired back with clean combinations. The final rounds were tough viewing for Lopez supporters as their fighter appeared exhausted mentally and physically while Shakur finished strong and composed.
My opponent was a hell of an opponent. He came here, he pushed me to another level. He made me make adjustments in there, he made me think a little bit. And I had to show y'all that I'm a dog too. Y'all keep saying that I'm a runner, I'm pillow-fisted, so I kind of stood there in the pot.
When the last bell rang, the outcome felt clear to nearly everyone watching, and Lopez's expression showed he understood it. The judges returned with wide margins for Stevenson, confirming how dominant the performance had been. Shakur celebrated with his corner, while Teofimo stayed seated quietly, processing a painful loss under the bright lights.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, it was a great performance, man. He came in with a game plan. He didn't let up.
The immediate in-ring questions afterward were short and uncomfortable, with Lopez giving brief replies and looking eager to leave. Later, away from the ring, he spoke longer with the media, and that's where the emotion truly surfaced. Still, showing marks from the fight, he talked more honestly than fans usually hear from him. He credited Stevenson's execution and admitted he was the better fighter that night. That level of humility surprised many who know Lopez for his bold talk and strong self-confidence, even after setbacks.
When Teofimo Lopez said, listen, everyone knows I won this fight, 90% of the people here were cheering for Lopez coming in. They all booed him after he said that.
As reporters shifted toward questions about what comes next, his tone grew heavier. He reflected on spending his entire life in boxing, starting young and sacrificing personal moments, relationships, and physical comfort along the way. He described years of grueling training camps and constant pressure. Lopez said he always trusted his ability to beat anyone when at his best, but this bout forced him to face a tougher truth. Hearing him openly doubt his own ceiling was hard for longtime fans who followed his rise.
That didn't shock me. By the way, I don't think he was badly hurt with the first knockdown. I think what he was more hurt by was realizing this little motherfucker's coming out there and winning round after round, outlanding him. He knew by the middle of that fight he had to turn something around. And by the way, he gave it a little bit more early in the second half of the fight.
When asked if the retirement comments were emotional or truly final, especially at just 27, Lopez responded clearly with no hesitation. He stated he is done competing and called this fight the closing chapter, saying his focus now needs to shift toward family and protecting his future health. The room went quiet as journalists absorbed the words, and even the interviewer looked stunned. Within minutes, reactions spread across major platforms as fans worldwide weighed in.
If Tio is Gordo and not just coming in trying to hammer damage, and blah, 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 if he's Gordo, you got something going. There's going to be a lot of IQ up in there. Yo, I mean, which one of the two beat Loma? Which one of the two beat Josh Taylor?
Some supporters argued he was speaking from heartbreak and would likely return after taking time to recover mentally. Others posted heartfelt tributes, thanking him for the memorable fights if this truly is the end. Debates broke out over whether the decision is permanent or simply a reaction to a brutal night. Commentators joined the conversation, with several advising him to rest and reflect before making such a permanent move.
Teofimo Lopez, from a degree, he does have a high boxing IQ as well. He does. I mean, he was able to deal with Lomachenko. He was able to deal with Taylor and other guys. You know, he does possess a high boxing IQ. He has that explosiveness or that elite athleticism.
Experienced coaches and analysts also shared opinions, noting that a fighter his age typically still has prime years ahead. However, people close to Lopez revealed that stepping away had been discussed privately before the bout, especially if the outcome was negative. One source claimed he treated this camp like an all-in effort and mentally prepared for a possible exit. That detail suggests the announcement may have deeper roots than pure emotion. Lopez also mentioned the long-term physical damage accumulated across his amateur and professional career.
But I'm leaning towards Teofimo.
Okay.
Just because I like him. I like him more. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay. And then
He spoke about ongoing pain in his hands, back, and head, saying the wear on his body feels much older than his actual years. These are struggles many fighters deal with, but rarely admit publicly while still active. With growing awareness around brain safety and chronic injury, younger athletes are rethinking how long they should stay in the game. Lopez stressed that being healthy and present for his son matters more than belts and headlines, questioning whether titles are worth lost time with family.
He was the world champion. There is no comparison to Shakur's style and my son's style. Yeah. My son is more entertaining. You know what I'm saying? He has more, how you call it? He has more,
There's that it factor.
what do you call it when you have a lot of,
The mood in the press area grew somber, affecting even veteran reporters. His father and longtime trainer stood nearby, looking emotional, and chose not to comment. Their relationship has always been intense, playing a central role in both victories and difficult moments throughout his career. Stevenson, during his own media appearances, responded with respect, saying he supports whatever decision Lopez makes and praising his toughness. That show of respect stood in contrast to the fiery pre-fight buildup and reminded viewers of the bond fighters share.
Granddad is focused. I'm focused. We all locked in on the task. But Teofimo Sr. is nowhere to be found. Last night he was in the lobby, drugged out, head over heels.
I don't gotta worry about that. You focusing on me, B.
Right now,
yes, you is.
Easy emotional.
Yes, you is.
That's why he acting
That's why
like
you clowning.
As the news circulated, more fighters and boxing personalities posted supportive messages honoring Lopez's bravery and achievements. Former opponents and current champions alike expressed appreciation for his impact on the sport. Promoters urge patience, pointing out that retirement decisions made right after painful losses are sometimes reversed once emotions cool.
He said he's the last fight with ESPN. Well, he's in no position to say that because Top Rank has an exclusive deal with ESPN, and he'll fight with whatever network we want to put the fight on.
The sport has seen many cases where fighters announced they were done in moments of disappointment, only to return later for another chapter. Even so, many observers believe this situation feels different because of Lopez's visible emotion and the way he delivered his message. Discussions have already started about how his legacy would be viewed if this truly is the end. His career includes major wins against top-level opponents and flashes of explosive, superstar-level talent.
Still, the WBC lose for him.
At the same time, uneven performances and shifting motivation kept him from reaching his full projected peak. If he truly steps away now, boxing loses a highly talented yet unpredictable competitor who never completely fulfilled his potential. The next few weeks will be decisive as he rests, recovers, and confirms whether this choice holds. For now, the fight world watches closely to see if this is a farewell or just another twist in a dramatic journey. Stay connected for confirmed fight news and follow for continued coverage of the sport's biggest moments.